Gal Ritchie.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. You've got so much to say, and that you have a lot of really interesting perspectives on stuff, and that you're a great conversationalist. So I actually heard that from a few different people, and I thought, okay, so this is how we're going to meet.
Well, I hope I live up to it.
Yes.
I used to compete in dance for like a good 6 years. That's a fun fact.
Okay, what kind of dance?
I competed in freestyle disco, which I don't think is a thing.
No, but I want to know.
But people imagine it. We wear like crazy costumes.
Okay.
So imagine like feathers on the head, tight little skimpy leotards, like bedazzled everywhere. And then so I competed at that, and then I also did like jazz, tap, contemporary ballet. Dance was basically like my adolescence life. Mm-hmm. That's all I did was live and breathe dance. And then I quit when I was about 16. But yeah, I did that for a long time, and that's all I wanted to do. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the specific first time like I masturbated but I do remember watching like, it's a really weird Disney film. I can't remember. I think this might be Hercules or something. Okay. Where they like tie up the girl, and I was like, "Oh,
there you go."
No, that feels weird.
Yep, another pop culture reference.
Yeah. But I remember being quite like, I guess, in tune with. I watched a lot of YouTubers growing up. Mm-hmm. And a lot of female YouTubers, some of them were sex workers. Mm-hmm. So they would talk about, female pleasure and stuff like that. So again, I had quite like an open conversation going on. In terms of my own sexuality though, yeah, I mean, mainly watching films when I was younger, I remember being like, ooh, especially ladies. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, ooh, naked lady. Ooh, what's going on? I think it's really important. I think how people perceive porn is definitely male gaze wise. I also think there's a conversation to be had about, God, this might be a bit controversial, but so-called feminist porn. Mm-hmm. I think when you name a certain type of porn feminist, it makes, like for me, for example, I like quite hardcore porn. Mm-hmm. That is not deemed feminist, but then should I feel guilty because I enjoy it? Yeah. I think having a way more open view on female sexuality, that it can be so many different things. It's not just it needs to look like this in order for it to be feminist. Yeah, it doesn't need to have soft lighting and a really romantic story. A glossy overview, and it doesn't need to be a certain script and a certain narrative for it to be about female pleasure. I think that conversation isn't had enough either, to be honest. Yeah. Because when I started researching porn, or like when I started watching porn, the overriding feeling of guilt of like, oh God, am I a bad feminist? Mm-hmm. Do I not care about female rights because I like certain things in the bedroom? Yeah. And feeling guilty because of that is crazy. It's insane. It's that slut shaming coming back again and again in different ways. So I think having a conversation is really important about the broad aspects of where female sexuality lies, and pleasure is involved in that as well. Is super important. So having a podcast like this is great. In terms of porn I watch now, again, I'm fairly versatile in terms of what I like. I can do hentai and love it. Mm-hmm. I can do like really like kink, for example, like BDSM stuff, or like really amateur passionate stuff as well. I really like. Depends what mood I'm in. I actually have a notes app on my phone of my favorite porns. Yeah. So when I'm on the 10th page and I'm like, none of this is really getting working, or I'm now starting to recognize everyone, I'm like, we'll go back to the index. Okay, I gotta ask you, do you remember what's at the top of that list? Yes. Okay, what's at the top of that list? It's the first proper porn I probably watched, I mean, I don't even know if it's out there because I haven't watched it in a long time, if it's still around on the internet, but it was a female gangbang. It was great. Foursome gangbang, I don't know. And it was about a girl who, like, she's in bed and she has this fantasy of waking up, and these women come and tie her up, and they put like tape around her legs, and they like, basically it's kind of like forced masturbation, forced orgasm stuff. It was incredible. I don't know who was in it, but
you enjoyed it very much.
It was incredible. So that's right at the top, and I have very, very vivid memories of like that being the first porn I